handle must be depressed all the time to prevent the automatic return of the gears to neutral. You should do this at least 6 times. This is what is happening in the gearbox. You can see the slot turning as the adjuster nut tightens. Off once again. Up to second gear. Things seem to be all right now. Yes, that's the right change-up speed from second to third gear. The brake band wear adjuster has done its job and everything is working correctly again in the gearbox. If you should ever hear any unusual noises or vibrations from the engines, stop them for your own safety and check up on the cause. There's a great deal of very valuable equipment under the train, and it's up to you to protect it from harm. Good heavens, fire! Well, first stop the train, of course. Now, let's not panic, me included. This is a bit unusual, but there it is, it's happened. Don't stop the train on a bridge or other unsuitable place. This is all right here. First, destroy the vacuum completely. Then stop the other engine, turn off the control switch key, and collect the extinguishers. The automatic extinguishers under the train emit a rather toxic gas, so it's a good idea to check on the wind direction. The automatic extinguishers are very efficient and nearly always deal successfully with an engine or flywheel fire by themselves. But if the fire should continue to burn, the guard should look after the passengers and go on fighting it with the other extinguishers while the driver goes off to protect the train. In this case, the fire has been promptly put out, and there's a good chance that the controls will be unaffected, so that the train can continue its journey as far as the next station. But before Mike goes, there are several things to do. First, turn off the alarm bell. Then, isolate the engine. The flame switch is for your use in case the automatic extinguishers happen not to have gone off automatically. Remember, it is important to conserve the other extinguishers if possible. It's most unlikely, but just in case the fire should break out again, the automatic ones are now empty and these would have to be used. See if you remember the drill for isolating the final drive. It's always isolated from the side of the train opposite to the disabled engine. Insert the rod, rotate the plunger a quarter turn, and let go. Now move the reversing lever to and fro. And finally, check that the cardan shaft is free to revolve. Things seem to be all right. Slowly does it. Notice that no air light is showing. The isolation of any final drive is the only occasion when you are allowed to run without the air light showing. There's another train standing on the opposite line. I wonder if... Yes, it is Walter. Stuck again. Looks like trouble with the feed valve. Dirt or something. Yes, that's about all that could have caused the intermittent fault that Walter has just experienced. Just now, while driving along, the faulty valve caused this to happen. Walter didn't notice. He was checked by a signal and he made a normal stop. When he released the brake, only the usual 21 inches was registered on the train pipe. He was puzzled for a moment to find the brake still holding the train, but of course they were applied at 26 inches. It will take 26 inches to get them off again. Or will it? No, there's nearly always something that can be done. First, apply the handbrake. Then pull the brake release cords. Their position is marked on the frame by the usual white star. Number 1, under the power car front bogie. Number 2, behind the power car rear bogie. Number 3, by the trailer car battery box. And number 4, the other side of the box. This has equalized the vacuum on both sides of the brake cylinders. Remember to take off the handbrake, but to avoid a repetition of the fault when you drive off again, release the vacuum brake and return it to the lap position as soon as the vacuum reaches 21 inches. The fault should be corrected as soon as possible, as it's most undesirable to run for any length of time with the brake in the lap position. Consider now the other failures in the brake system, divided into 4. They may be in the high vacuum or train pipe in the power car, or the high vacuum or the train pipe in the trailer. Let's deal with each in turn. In each case, the power car is leading. Train pipe failure on trailer car. Whether the train becomes a failure really depends upon finding the leak. And it's not easy, as Walter is finding out. A few minutes ago, as he was driving along, he noticed the train pipe needle dropping, although the brake handle hadn't been touched, nor the communication cord pulled. There was obviously a leak on the train pipe, somewhere on the train. So Walter stopped, but left the engines running. In order to hear the leak, it was necessary to leave the vacuum brake off, so the handbrake had to be applied. The guard assisted by depressing the dead man's button in order not to lose all the vacuum in the train pipe. Good, he's found it. It's under the trailer car. In this case, the trailer car brake cords must be pulled, but first it is necessary to apply the vacuum brake. It would be pointless to pull the cords with the brake released and the engine still building up the vacuum. Now he must uncouple the train pipes between the two vehicles. And make sure that the disconnected pipes are secure on their dummy couplings. Black is the train pipe, blue is the high vacuum. Now that the trailer car has no vacuum brake, the guard should have ushered all the passengers into the power car and must ride in the rear cab near the handbrake. The train can still be driven from the leading cab. Walter, don't forget the handbrake. High vacuum failure on trailer car. It's the high vacuum failure on the trailer car this time. Let's assume he's found it. No need to pull any cords, but the high vacuum pipes must be uncoupled between the vehicles and firmly secured on their dummy couplings, the blue ones this time. The train can again be driven from the leading cab, the power car cab. But first, the high vacuum or reservoir must be recreated. Train pipe failure on power car. In this case, the train can no longer be driven from the leading cab. The power car is in front, remember. That's why Walter has his satchel with him. The cords must be pulled under the power car. The handbrake was applied before he left the cab. This situation involves some rules, but we'll come to those in a minute. The train pipes must be disconnected and secured on their dummy couplings. The vacuum supply is still available in the rear cab because it's obtained from a high side or reservoir, which is still intact. But the deadman system will be non-effective because the train pipes have had to be disconnected. So another competent person must ride with the driver in case he should become non-effective too. Luckily, there is a spare guard available, traveling passenger. When there is no spare member of the operating staff aboard a diesel train, disabled in this way, one must be picked up from the nearest station. The train guard must, of course, ride in the leading cab. When the train is ready to move, he gives the driver right away by pressing the buzzer in the cab.